Today morning, as I woke up and imagined myself standing on this very special red carpet, I pinched myself and asked, is this day actually happening? Now, this thought of non-belief comes due to the reason that today's day comes after a lot of rejections. But despite those rejections, I've always believed in one power, and that is the power of persistence. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is no greater myth than the myth that success is a product of intelligence. The real power is not intelligence, but the real power is the power of persistence. Now, to explain my perspective, I shall switch to flashback mode to reflect a little from my early life. I had been a very shy, timid, introverted kid during my school days, who was always scoffed and mocked due to my deeply complex ridden mind. Once in class 5, my history teacher made me stand in the class and asked a very simple question. She asked, who discovered America? I had just finished my geometry class, and in a state of confusion, I answered rhombus instead of Columbus. The whole class burst into peals of laughter, and the teacher shouted in anger and said, "You are a confirmed idiot." I stood there on the bench with my eyes moist, unable to bear those harsh words and that stinging echo of that sarcastic laughter of my classmates. Now, such episodes kept happening quite frequently, and despite my growing age, my confidence levels remained very low, till a day came when everything changed. That day was a day of annual function of the school. On that day, one of my classmates performed so brilliantly in front of a packed auditorium of students that there was a huge round of applause after his performance. I was so besotted by that applause that I started yearning for the same applause for myself. For that, I started participating in annual functions of the schools. Though I got noticed, but since they were very small roles, like hanging a band around my neck or dressing like a girl with lipstick plastered on my lips, I hardly got the desired attention my mind was actually craving for. During university days, that hidden, that shy, that timid, that introverted kid excelled to such an extent on stage that even in my dreams, I was mimicking my teachers, actors, and politicians to a packed auditorium of students with a thunderous applause. Every round of applause after my performance gave a befitting reply to my deep-rooted complex, which was hitting me, stinging me deep inside. Today, many moons later, I try to maintain a fine balance between my profession and my passion. My profession feeds my family, while my passion feeds my soul. Summing up my personal story, I've always believed that I am not traditionally intelligent in the real sense of the word. I love to create, not because of any genetic or inherent intelligence, but due to the fact that I have loads of persistence. Now, persistence at times gives a flawed impression to the audience as being intelligence. But fact remains, when you repeat an act, an art, a craft, a hobby, a ritual, you tend to move closer to intelligence with or without being intelligent. Persistence can lead us to intelligence, but intelligence does not always lead us to persistence. Let me say it again. Persistence can lead us to intelligence, but intelligence does not always lead us to persistence. Do not forget, your intelligence can be celebrated through your degrees for a very short duration, but your persistence leading up to your craft is a lifelong celebration. Be a Romeo in absolute love with your craft, your Juliet, as your persistent love for your craft will take your craft to great heights. My repeated emphasis on persistence does not mean that intelligence is of no use. The only caution, the only precaution is use your intelligence more, as an intelligence used less often turns useless. Use your intelligence more, as an intelligence used less often turns useless. Now, to sharpen your intelligence, you need to learn more. And to learn more, you need to read more. But there is a catch. Don't just be a plain and simple reader. Be a creative reader. Now, who is a creative reader? Well, creative reading is a reading where what you are reading, you are trying to assimilate, you are trying to gel, you are trying to inculcate that reading into your system. This may lower down the speed of your reading, but more important than the speed of reading is what you derive from that reading. Derive the maximum from the minimum. That should be the mantra. Keep in mind, if you want to be a great leader, you have to be a creative reader. Another factor which blocks intelligence is distraction and dissatisfaction. Today, we are living in those times where people today are hugely obsessed by social media. In fact, social media has turned people into account experts. This account, that account, so many accounts that they lose the count of the number of hours they spend in scrolling these different accounts. These social media accounts have turned people into products. A product which is on a constant display mission. Every sort of material display which people do on social media leaves a prolonged anxiety to all those watchers who watch this display, thereby planting seeds of dissatisfaction in them. I shall like to address everyone that please change the focus of your dissatisfaction. Now, there are two types of dissatisfaction. In the first, if you are comparing your life with someone, if you're getting jealous from someone who is on a materialistic display mission, then that is the most negative form of dissatisfaction. Keep in mind, comparison with others is a disease which neither has a medicine nor a vaccine. In the second type of dissatisfaction, if you are focused on your deficiencies, your limitations, and are trying to improve those areas of your personality, which will make you a far, far better version of your earlier self, then that is the most positive form of dissatisfaction. So before being dissatisfied with your life, choose your dissatisfaction wisely. The first one will frustrate you, while the second one will reform you and transform you. Keep in mind, you need persistence to be different. You need persistence to be exceptional. You need persistence to be extraordinary. You need persistence to win every battle of your life. As I end, I would like to address to the very esteemed audience sitting in this prestigious auditorium, and to all those who are watching this talk on their mobile screens. Every master was once a disaster. If you are in the middle of a disaster, don't let that disaster bleed your soul. Believe in the power of persistence and keep working tirelessly on your goals. Beyond any doubt, today's disaster will turn you into tomorrow's master. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you.